So I'm in college and it's my senior year. Where I went to school was super close to the city, so we could just hop on the Long Island Railroad and be there in 40 minutes. So you didn't always have to plan a city hang. You could just do it spontaneously. And I'm hanging out with one of my girlfriends on a Saturday night, and we wanna rage. We only have about 4 weeks left at school before we graduate and go stumbling into adulthood, so we gotta live it up. And I will say this, live up your 20s, people. They fly by like a beautiful shooting star if you do them right or if you do them wrong, so you might as well do them right. Trust me. So it's this Saturday night and no one is around to party with us. None of the usual suspects. And I'm with my friend, let's call her Cindy Lou Who. Now, me and Cindy Lou Who are having some trouble finding some people to be spontaneous with. And don't get me wrong, she and I could have gone to the city, just the two of us, but we wanted to add a little extra element, a little excitement, especially knowing that school was going to be ending soon. So we invite, let's call her Joan of Hill. We're going to call her that for no other reason other than it's funny to me. Joan of Hill wasn't someone who we hung out with often. But we said, what the hell? She's around and she's down to clown. Let's do it. The three of us go into the city, and Joan of Hill wants to play a game with me and Cindy Lou Who. The game is called, I don't know, it's like red carpet or something. What she has us do is she has us walk ahead of her, and while we're walking the streets of Manhattan, she starts freaking out behind us and acting like we're celebrities that she's just spotted, so people on the street would take notice. Naturally, I like fun, so I can get down with this game, and I join in too. So we start yelling Cindy Lou Who's name and freaking out, and people start staring, and I go, okay, this is a different kind of Saturday night than I was thinking I was gonna have, but this is still fun, weird, but fun. Now it's my turn. So Joan of Hill says, get up there and start walking ahead of us. Cindy Lou Who gives me a look that says, bitch, what are we doing? Which is classic Rocky. Ignoring red flags like I'm Stevie Wonder in an art museum. I just thought of that, and it's a joke because he can't see the art. Okay, it was a stretch. It was a stretch. I ignore red flags is what I'm saying. Anyways, it was an underwhelming game to say the least. Next, we move to a bar. The reason for the seasons. Going out, having some drinks, maybe meeting a couple guys. And we get to the bar and show our ID to the doorman. And sis breaks out in a British accent, okay? Now this night's getting weird in a different kind of way. You don't recognize me. I come here all of the time. He is not fazed by her British accent, and he lets us in very unamused. Now I'm starting to get embarrassed, okay? And so is Cindy Lou Who, but we shake it off because we are party goddesses, damn it, and we are going to make this night fun if it kills us. Joan of Hill takes a phone call, and me and Cindy Lou Who start macking it with the bartender. Classic us. Your girl's a whiz at free drinks. It's one of my superpowers, and I roll with women who also have that superpower. I wasn't worried about the tab, is what I'm trying to say. He's a hot Irish bartender, and if you're a fan of this show, you know how I feel about attractive Irishmen. Johnny McDonald, how you doing, baby? So we manage to get free shots within minutes of her not being with us and taking the call in the bathroom. And then she comes back like a werewolf of motherfucking London. Not without her British accent. It has made another appearance, and she begins to say to the bartender, who we laid all this precious groundwork with, that she's Kate Moss's sister and she always gets free drinks in this bar. She tells him she's outraged. He would ask her for a card for her tab. Right, that's some choice words. So we did not receive any more free drinks, and we did not flirt with the bartender further because he moved to the other end of the bar and someone else started to take care of us. We were indeed charged for all our drinks. Why this story, Rocky? Why this opener? It's not to shame this chick, absolutely not. Joan of Hill had a different party language than me and Cindy Lou Who. You can't fault someone for that. And you know what? This night made for a weird and strangely unforgettable story. So I'm not shaming her, and I'm not making fun of her. I'm telling you this story to remind you that not everyone is your people. As the world slowly reopens and everyone is anxious to hang, find your people and make your memories with them. Protect your goddamn energy, and God bless us everyone.
Time for
the
Rockin.
Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Huge news. Harry Styles, guys. Harry Styles. This week, me and the girls discovered this sexy-ass motherfucker, and we cannot get enough. I know what you're thinking. How did you just discover Harry Styles? He's a global sensation and a superstar. I don't know. I've known who he was, but I don't think I knew who he was. Do you understand? There's a distinction. I didn't realize the shape and outline and structure of his face. And discovering that with my girlfriends this week has been, it's been leg-opening. I mean eye-opening for me. Very eye-opening. People these days make TikToks and Reels, and they splice footage together that hits different in an otherwise dry pandemic. So I did a little research. And it looks like in October, Harry Styles is doing 4 shows at the Garden. And I'm calling on you, universe. I need 4 tickets to the Harry Styles concert in October of 2021, baby. I'll take 2, but the universe says be specific when you're manifesting and asking for stuff, so I'm gonna ask for 4 tickets. Can you make that happen, great and powerful universe? Show me what you're working with, baby. It is time to sprinkle upon you my highest thoughts of this week. My first thought, everything's a big deal to those it's happening to. Let me give you an example. If a neighbor has a friend over till 4 a.m. listening to Queen at full volume, wish them well from afar because they're living their best life. Let people celebrate their happy moments. Everything's a big deal to those it's happening to. Thought number 2, animals who talk in movies and do human things. And then they're just the hero. Why don't movie makers just make the humans do the stuff that the animals are doing, and then we can love humanity more? But then I realized we do make movies like that. They're called superhero movies, and people already love them. So that was a reflective journey I went on. Thought number 3, and I hope this doesn't sound like bragging, but I learned I'm actually pretty happy on a personal level, which was exciting news. And I figured this out because I had an eyelash on my little precious cheek. So I went to make a wish with it, like you do. And all that I wished for was to stop getting mask acne on my chin. Of course, now that I told the whole world, I'll have 6 more weeks of winter on my face, but that was my choice wish, and I think that's true happiness. Thought number 4, though it be old, the lyrics to Tarzan and Jane, still relevant. And lastly, thought number 5, what the fuck is a hiccup? My guest today is comedian Ace Zanders. This man is hilarious, and he really came correct with his story this week. His wild word was Durango Boots. So you can begin to speculate the what, the why, the who, the where of his story, and get excited to hear it. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, subscribe to the podcast. If you enjoy doing homework assignments, then write me a review on Apple Podcasts because it really does make a difference. And thank you to those of you that have written a review already. I really appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Wild Nights with Rocky, on Twitter at Wild Nights Pod. And another little exciting treat for you guys. Anyone who listens to podcasts know that podcasts name their loyal listeners. And I want you to know that you are officially deemed the Party Gods. And together we are the Party God Squad. Welcome if you're a new listener to the show. I hope you'll stay a while. Thank you to my loyal listeners. And enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Ace Zanders. Ace, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
How you doing, Rocky?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to have you on.
I'm happy to be here. I'm waiting for your sequels.
Oh, they're coming.
Yes. Adrian! Yeah.
I am so happy to have you on. I have to ask the most important question, or I don't know if it's the most important question, but it's the question I'm going to ask.
Sure.
How has your pandemic been?
It's been horrible. Let me tell you something. First of all, mask culture is a whole new thing.
That's new.
we're about 2 summers away from kids asking us, what was it like before masks? You know,
Yep.
what is this thing, movie theaters you talk about?
Yeah.
What is this thing that you talk about dating and seeing faces? Faces? What are those?
They don't know. They're growing up in a very different world. I'll tell you, I watch movies now, and sometimes when I see large group scenes, I'm like, where are their masks at? And it was like, girl, this movie was made in 2018.
Exactly. They feel like frauds now. Like, it feels more fictional now that you don't see masks.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
My boy Deron Johnson was on the set of a movie, and he almost caught COVID from one of his co-stars on the movie.
How do you almost catch it? Because COVID is not like a Pokemon.
I'll tell you how. He maneuvered through COVID.
Okay.
So he shared a cab with his co-star basically the co-star on the show. So he went on and he shared a cab with her. He had his mask on, and at some point he took his mask off. Then he got a call saying she was tested positive for COVID. So now he had to go check constantly. So he almost got it.
But almost doesn't count. I'm glad he didn't get it because COVID is no joke. You don't know what level of COVID you're going to get if you get it. I mean, that's why they got that's why they have numbers to the COVID. You know what I'm saying? We're on 19 now. I'm waiting for the 20s to come out because, I'll be online, like everybody else. Absolutely. COVID 28.
Yes, exactly. They're going to have that. Jordans, Weezy, and COVID. Just all on the same block. It's going to be amazing.
And we lived through it. Well, Ace, I'm glad, even though it has been a horrible year, I'm glad to have you on here. And you gave me the wild word Durango Boots, which I feel like I haven't heard about Durango Boots in a minute. So the floor is yours. Everyone's dying to hear your story. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, the key word is Durango Boots.
Mm-hmm.
The year, if I'm not mistaken, I know it was a while back. It was about 96, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I'm gonna fact check that.
Yes, I gotta check. I checked my Wikipedia. Basically, the situation was I bought a new pair of Durango boots and I was so excited about them. They had the bumpy brown leather and everything. They were tall, had a little heel on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm short, so I got my little Prince thing going on. Yeah. So I was cool. I was still gangster with it.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Basically, I was dating a girl who I'm gonna change the name. I was dating Teresa.
I always say on this show, we protect the innocent and the not so innocent. So Teresa it is. Yes,
she wasn't innocent, but we'll keep going. So, by that being the case, we used to date for a while. I was 19 and she was 18, and basically I used to spend whole weekends in her bedroom. Her parents, they didn't want anybody to spend a night, so they didn't know about this. I would be in there for a whole weekend and stuff like that. She'd bring me food.
You would be in the bedroom in the house with her parents hiding, and they didn't know.
No, they didn't know.
What?
They didn't know about it. Whole weekends. Yes. So I would get in there, and she lived in Queens. Okay. She lived in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
So the whole thing was basically we had a setup that we set up. So after Apollo, remember Apollo used to come on at 1:00, like clockwork.
With the Sandman. Right after SNL. Yep.
There you go. So I'm a big SNL fan. So as soon as it goes off, I know it's time for me to start leaving, so I can get there nice and late from Brooklyn or from Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, all the way to Queens.
Yeah.
So this particular night, everything told me. First of all, I tell everybody, please pay attention when you get hints in life.
Yeah.
Life tends to hint you, and you just don't listen.
Right.
So I left out of there, got dressed and everything, got fresh, left out, and there was a fog so thick that you couldn't see your hand in front of your face.
Like a horror movie.
It was horrible. It was like I thought Jack the Ripper was gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? But he was already there. He lived on the first floor.
Yeah, but and then Eddie Murphy in Vampire in Brooklyn just pops out too.
Exactly. You don't want none of that. So I happened to leave, and it was dark. That was clue number one. Turn around. Don't do it. So I walked to the train station. Barely could see it. They have the little green light to let you know.
Yeah, you were following the green light. Yep.
Yes, definitely. So I get through. I finally get through and all that, and I get to the train station. Train delayed. Some type of train problem. I waited for 45 minutes or more. It probably would have. When you're waiting for the train, it could be 45 minutes, but it feel like 2 days. So you stand there waiting for it. So I wait for the train. That's number 2.
Got it.
I get on the train about 45 to 50 minutes later. I get on the train, everything, get into an altercation with some guy. There's only like 3 of us on the train. But
and
he's
now
walking
at this
around,
point, it's probably about 1:45 in the morning. Am I right in saying that?
I would say about 1:50, 1:45. Yes, around that time.
Okay. And so
given
you got into
the
an
walk
altercation.
Time, yes, given the walk time. So I get into an altercation with him. He's going around. First, he's quoting Bible quotes. He's going through it. Then I don't know what might have hit him, but somehow those Bible quotes start to turn to threats.
Okay.
And if anybody knows me, ex gang leader, all kinds of different stuff, not the guy. You know what I'm saying? Not the guy.
You're not the one.
Short man's complex. Short man's complex, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So we go for it, and he starts to threats and everything. And I'm looking at him, and he's getting a little too close. There's only 3 of us on the car. Only 3 of us in the car.
Ace, let me ask you, did something besides his Bible quotes and being generally one of the people that New Yorkers we know when we see them on the train, we already know what's up with this guy. Did something provoke him about you, or you just got unlucky, kind of?
I think he just didn't like short guys. I don't know.
Okay.
It could have been that. Could have been that, because that's the only thing I could think of. I couldn't think of anything else.
Right.
I wasn't dressed any kind of way. Or, this was 96. What was there? So he happened to look. He looked me up and down. He kept going forward. I think he thought, because I tend to get this sometimes when I'm quiet. People tend to think that, maybe I could go a little further when he's short.
Yeah,
not that guy.
No,
not that guy. So he went on further, and I just told him one time, listen, if you come even closer, I'm gonna hit you so hard your dick will fall off. He caught the message from that. Don't know where I got that from. Don't have a problem. I'm not anti-dick. I'm just saying,
no.
For me.
Yeah. Just dick existing in general, you are pro.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Me and mine are like this.
Got it. Tight.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Scotty and Pip. You know what I'm saying? Mike and Pip. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So we go further, and I finally get to, the thing was, at that time I used to take the A train to the F, get off at J Street, and then take the F all the way to Queens. Yeah. The long way.
Right.
I could have just took the J train, didn't do that. So I went on there, and I finally got, it takes about almost, I would say, an hour and a little bit of change to get there, a couple delays. Yeah. I could have turned around, didn't. All right. I get over there. I get all the way up to the Queens, and the fog is there too. I guess the fog was full fog. You've been there before.
With the fog staying?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
the fog was so thick.
Driving too. It's scary when you're driving and the fog is thick like that.
Yes, it is. But I'm telling you, at least you're in the car. Safe. See, the thing is, you got headlights. I'm walking. I get out the train station in Jamaica Parson. I get out Jamaica Parson train station, and I'm walking, and I'm walking to the Coliseum. You probably know about the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Everybody in Queens know about the Coliseum.
Right.
All right, good stuff. Too many bootlegs. So I go on. I walk down the block to get to the Coliseum. Now, when I try to get to the Coliseum, there are no buses. There's nothing there, and some guy just walked out of nowhere. Remember, it's dark. So by the time he got this close is when I saw him. We were shocked to see each other.
You scared him too.
Yeah. So I swung on him. You know what I'm saying? I swung on him and I hit him. So when I hit him, he said, "Oh," he was shocked. I was shocked. He holding his face. And I'm like, "Yo, I'm sorry." You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. I didn't know, what it is. He said, "Yeah, I know the fog and everything." And he disappeared.
He said, "Yeah, I know the fog and everything," and kept it moving. Okay.
He disappeared. Never to be seen again. Boom. That just happened. So I go on further, and so I'm looking for the bus. I can't remember what bus it was. I think it was Q2. So I walk over to the bus. It's like a bus terminal. It's a whole terminal. Imagine a terminal itself is big. Imagine in a fog, okay? Can't see nothing, okay? Yeah. I run into another guy, okay? But I saw him ahead of time. He didn't get that right. Yes. So, at this time, like every New Yorker at that time, I had a blade on me. I had like every New Yorker, I had a box cutter.
Okay.
But when you think about it, that's really ineffective. But we ain't gonna go into that right now. So
well, I'll just stop and say to you that when I was little, my dad would not let me leave the house without a switchblade. The man never taught me how to use the shit. He just gave it to me, and he said, it used to make my girlfriends in middle school so uncomfortable. They'd be like, why do you have this knife? I'm like, I'm not allowed to not have a knife on me at all times.
First of all, salute to your father, because I do the same thing to my daughter. I do the same thing to my daughters. Yes.
He was like, you'll know how to use it if you need it.
you have to give them the movie quote. You'll know when it's time.
Yeah.
You will know. You will know when it's time.
Oh my God. So you had the switchblade on you.
So I had a box cutter. I had the box cutter. I'm holding on to it. And it's a fog. No bus showed up. I stood there for at least another, I would say about 30 minutes.
Okay.
In the fog, looking around, waiting for a bus. Not one.
Right.
Not one bus showed up. So I'm standing there and I was like, nah, forget this. I'm a sitting duck.
Yeah.
So I walk further onto I guess they call that I guess that's hillside.
Okay.
I walk over to hillside thinking I'm gonna catch something else, maybe a cab or something. I get over there and some guy pulls up. Need a taxi? Now, first of all, I'm a New Yorker and I'm very skeptical.
Of course.
Skeptical of everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm skeptical of everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust me if I didn't know me that well. So
you shouldn't. You just swing on strangers.
Yes, it gotta happen. It's the reflexes. You gotta have automatic reflexes. Yes. So I go on to Parson, and some guy pulls up out of nowhere, and he says, "Hey, you need a ride?" Normally, I would not have done it, but I said, "You know what? I'm looking at him in a cab. I'm in a fog. I'm in. This is not my borough. I'm here for a booty call. And let's be honest, it's booty call. Yeah. So, if anybody who knows booty call knows booty call.
It was a booty call. I go on. This is damn near 3 a.m. This was a booty call.
Yes, it's a booty call. Now, I had every opportunity to turn around, and I did not. I did not turn around. So we go, and I get in the car with him, and he has a lady next to him. He proceeds to talk to me about, hey, where you from and everything. Okay, I'm from, I'm Brooklyn and everything. I be going a little further and everything. Right. I got people out here, the normal thing, go from there. Yes, the lady's in the car with him. She's sitting on the side as well. And then he proceeds to offer me her. You heard it right. Yes. He says, yeah, man, listen, I'm just driving her home. If you can take her home if you want to. You can take her. You can take it if you want to. It's not, no problem or anything like that.
Oh my God.
So yes,
he was pimping.
Her. Yes, he's big pimping. He's gutter pimping. You know what I'm saying? He's a gutter pimp. I know this.
This was 3:00 in the afternoon on Hillside Ave. I don't know if he was big pimping.
No, that's why I changed it. He's a gutter pimp. He was a gutter pimp.
Oh, gutter pimp. Yeah, he's a little pimping.
Yes, he was a gutter pimp. So I look at the lady. Something she told me, look at the lady. So I look at the lady, and she's all with it. She's just going along for the ride.
Oh
she's ready.
God.
It's business as usual.
Yeah.
So I'm 19 at this time. Mm-hmm. So and hands still in my razor. So at this point, so he goes on, and he's, I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm going to go see my lady, and everything. Oh, it's okay. She can go with y'all too. No, that's okay. In this case, three's a crowd. Three's a crowd right now. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Don't need a third wheel in this situation. I got this covered. So we go on further, and he says, yo, how much, how much you gonna, give me for the ride? So I'm like, okay. I said, I'm $5. So I give you $5. I'm a $5 man. He said, $5. $5. And I'm like, at this point, I'm not here for haggling. Okay, you offer me a woman, you pick me up in a fog, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, be more specific. So he goes on and he says, all right, well, how about he said, how about a little higher and everything? So I said, listen, man, I give you $10. He said, okay, got you. All right. And I was thinking, this does not include the woman. I don't want the woman. I don't.
Keep
that's
the
all right.
woman.
It's out of the deal.
I'm good on the woman.
Yes, it's cool. You can keep whatever y'all got to y'all. So he drives me over there. Now, when I get to her house, usually the code was this. I would go to the front of the house. She somehow, I don't know how she ever did it. She would sense me there, come to the window, and then there was a long staircase, old staircase. It basically, the door would open up. To this day, I don't know how. If she's up there, the door opened here. Have no idea.
Okay.
She'll turn around. Yeah. It was the power of the PU. So So I'm waiting for her. She doesn't come. I'm standing down there. I'm walking around, everything. People see me walking around the house and everything. I don't want her parents to see me.
No,
So, all right. So I'm waiting. Another 15 minutes. So I'm like, damn, if I call her, then I might wake up the parents.
Oh, yeah, we don't want that.
No, first of all, let me give you backstory to the parents.
Please.
Her mother was about, I say she was about at least 320. Oh. Big woman.
Gotcha.
Because she's a big woman. You understand there's a difference between a woman with a big ass and a big ass woman.
I do. Difference. I know the difference. Yeah.
Now, she was. Do you remember Gordon Soley? The show. Gordon Soley used to have a talk show in the early '90s.
No. I remember Jesse Raphael.
Yes. So Gordon Soley used to have a talk show.
Okay.
All right. So on that show, he had a category, Big, Bold, and Beautiful.
Okay.
Women contestants that used to win this pageant. Okay. Her mother won that pageant so many times they made her judge. That's how many times she won the pageant. Yes.
Okay, so you were in royalty's house.
Yes. Now the thing about her mother was she had hands.
Okay.
She was known for knocking out people in that neighborhood. She was no joke.
Gotcha.
Okay, she was no joke.
Gotcha.
She knew all the business. All right. Keep this in mind. So I go and everything, and I'm waiting for her. She finally shows up to the window, groggy and all that. She must have fell asleep.
Yeah.
Door opens up. I sneak up the stairs. All right. Should have turned around at that point. Kind of creepy. How did she do that?
Yeah.
So how? Get up the stairs and everything. We proceed to, start spending time. She tells me to be quiet. I go in the room. I'm hanging out. This is Saturday night.
Probably about 3:30, right? In the morning, we're going to say?
It has to be around 3:30, 4 o'clock. It has to be around that time somewhere.
Can I just say, I'm so happy you made it out of that cab, okay?
Yes.
I'm glad there was
I
nothing.
am too.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, I almost got a new girlfriend. I don't know how that happened. You know what I'm saying? You try to avoid these things, you know what I'm saying, from there. So I go on, we hang out and everything, you know, I think you understand. So we hang out. Yeah, I think you do. So we hang out from that point on, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave. It's the morning, maybe around 11, 12-ish. Okay. All right. Parents didn't wake up yet. So I thought. Then I hear a mother walking around in the kitchen. First of all, if you're 300 something pounds, you're in the kitchen. That's not an uncharted territory. You already know what it is.
I'm surprised at 11 o'clock in the morning, her mother wasn't making breakfast. You weren't smelling bacon. That feels like a very Sunday morning thing to do. You know what I mean? My house.
It's funny you should say that.
Right?
It's funny you should say that because that's exactly what I was going to. So she decided to go there. I slept a little longer than I should have.
Okay.
So she's cooking and everything, but usually when she finishes, she goes to her room. At that point, I slide right out the door. I'm fine. This particular day, her bedroom was basically a makeshift bedroom. It was a long dining room, so they built a wall.
Okay.
They built a wall there, so it's never as strong as the surrounding walls. Okay. Now her mother is 300 something pounds.
All of them.
Suddenly, her cousin that she hasn't seen since she was maybe about 8 comes up to the house. Hasn't seen the guy. Showed up out of nowhere. He shows up at the house. From there, and she's like, "Oh, Teresa," almost said the real name. "Oh, Teresa, your cousin's here." So we both look at each other like. So at that point, I got to get out the house. The bedroom is so small, you got to stand outside to change your mind. It was one of those bedrooms. There was nowhere to hide. You're over. You're done. There was no under the bed. There was no behind. Nothing. Done. So what we did at this point, we had to figure out. I thought of that movie, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. There's only 2 ways out of here. The window or the stairs.
Okay.
So at this point, her mother's knocking on the wall so much, the wall is shaking like it's about to fall. Okay? Heart pumping. My heart is pumping. Don't know what to do at this point.
Okay.
So, all right, we look at each other. Okay, listen. All right, I'm gonna go out the window. She's on the second floor. Backyard was big backyard there with connecting buildings and stuff like that. Underneath the window directly was a staircase. Was a big it was a basic brick staircase.
Okay.
No landing at that point. So now remember, I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to mess up my Durango boots. Okay, I don't want to mess up my Durango boots. Okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, I got my fresh Durango boots on. So I go outside the window. I'm standing on the cable wire. Yes. The
I'm done
cable
with
wire
you.
that they installed. I'm on the wire and holding on to the wall. Like, how am I going to make it out of this? But I'm not taking off my Durango boots. So at this point, not doing that. So I go on and I'm like, okay, I got to get out of here. So I told her, listen, tie some sheets together. So maybe I could do, I could do my scale thing, my rock climbing. Ghetto rock climbing. She proceeds to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because the last time I did this, they got stuck together. I had to cut the sheets. First of all, who you did it with? Because it wasn't me. Okay?
This is news to me. Yeah.
Yes, news to me. So she goes on and says, okay, I'm not going to do it that way. Mother, come out the room, Tia. Your cousin such and such is here. Said the real name. My bad. So move on right there.
Got it. Do you want to say it again?
Hey, it's Tia. We talk about this, it's all good. Tia. So we go on and she's knocking hard. The wall's going. She's like, Mom, I'm coming out in a moment. I'm putting some clothes on.
Okay.
So I'm at the window and everything. I'm thinking and at that point, Ace knew he fucked up. Okay. At that point, you knew. All right.
You're done for.
I'm looking. I have to jump. Oh, in order for me to land in the grass, I have to jump away from the window, at least about 25, 30 feet away from the window. All right. So I go from there. All right. I watch a lot of movies. All right. People tend to think that just because you see something in a movie that you can do these things.
You can't do that.
No. I saw a couple paratrooping. I saw a couple James Bond movies and stuff like that. So I thought I could do it.
Nope.
So I said, okay, now if I land on my foot and I roll with it, okay, like paratroopers, if I roll with it, you know what I'm saying? I could basically roll into the dirt from there. I have a safe landing and I won't scuff my Durango boots.
Right.
So I go from there and I said, okay, I'm going to go. She's like, listen, you got to go. You got to go. You have to go. My mother going to do this. You got to go. At this point, there's a little kid watching me on a big wheel. He's
watching the whole thing?
Whole thing. Traumatized. He's sitting there. So I'm on there, nobody's watching him. So basically I go and I jump away from the window. I land in the ditch. I roll with it. I roll with it and everything. And at that point, I think I broke my ankle at that point. Durango boots have heels on them. They have heels.
Mm-hmm.
So I landed a little too hard on my heel, my foot. I think I broke my ankle. I started tasting grape soda.
Okay.
Don't know what that was about. Grape soda. I have no idea.
Maybe you were just craving it. I was talking about grape soda yesterday.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that some people say when you break a limb or something like that, they say you smell or taste almonds, and some people say grape.
Okay.
Grape soda.
You went to
yes.
grape.
Yes, I'm going to get some grape soda after this. So after that, I roll into it. And I'm laying there. Her cousin comes into the room. Comes in. I'm looking at them. The mother and the cousin come into the room. I could see them from where I'm laying. I stay still. All they had to do was look to their left. They would have saw, hey, why is Ace laying out there on the ground out there?
Yeah.
They never look. The mother leaves out. She tells her cousin, she put him on to it. Listen, God was here.
Yeah.
They come outside. The little kid in the big wheel, he rolled into the house. Now he told everybody else in his house.
You knew that was going to happen. You knew that was going to happen.
Yes. I was trying to, if I would have been in a better situation, I would have went to him, gave him $5, told him shut up. All right. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing. Keep quiet.
He would have said, can you make it 10?
Exactly. Then he would have offered me his girlfriend. So I'd be like, no, that's all right. That's not what I want. She's on the big wheel. That's not me.
How crazy would it be if the girlfriend was the same girl from the cab?
Exactly. I'm like, oh, she gets around. She's multifaceted.
Just hanging on the back of the trike.
Yeah, hold on and just stand on the pegs, just on the back or something like that.
Hey,
Ace! So from there, she comes around with a cousin and they basically help me up. I try to walk up. I try to walk it off. Hey, walk it off.
Yeah.
My leg felt numb. It felt numb and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I kept tasting grape soda. And then I started losing consciousness slowly. So she takes me around. They carry me. A whole bunch of people. A couple people were outside now. Now it's a little crowd. We go into the Chinese restaurant. Now this particular Chinese restaurant, she was the girl I was with. She was banned from the Chinese restaurant. So the lady prior, because the lady disrespected some kind of way, happens in the hood all the time.
Right.
So I laid in the Chinese restaurant on the little booth thing they had there. I lay there, and she's telling us to leave. Someone calls. Oh no, she tell the girl to call the ambulance. Basically, call the ambulance.
Okay,
but I wouldn't take my Durango boots off.
It was 1996, so nobody had a cell phone. Nobody had anything to. So the Chinese restaurant, that was the closest. The restaurant was the closest place you guys had to get somebody to make the call for you.
Yes. So apparently, I didn't know when you call one thing, everything shows up. So the police, the fire department, the ambulance, and a couple other dudes, I don't know. By the time I came out, the fire department came over. They came over to me. They asked me, was I pushed out the window?
Oh my God.
I said, first of all, no. They said, well, who pushed you? No one.
Nobody.
Pushed me. No, tell us who pushed you. No one pushed me. No one pushed me.
Right.
Okay, I fell. I said, I fell. How'd you fall? I fell. I was too busy falling. I didn't ask.
Yeah.
So we go in from there. They go, hey, you got to take the boots off. Don't take off my Durango boots. Don't take off my Durango boots. We have to. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it off. He says that, but he cuts them off. He cuts my Durango boots in half, and he takes it off.
No.
By the time he finished that, they go to take me out on a gurney, and I tell you, it looked like Jay-Z was having a concert there. Everybody from blocks around were all out there. It was a sea of people. Everyone except her mother. So we're all out there. All these people out there. I get inside there. They take me to the hospital from that point on. My aunt lives down there. She put me in a cab. I went home. Now, this is the thing. Now, that happened in 96. We kept that a secret. Her mother never knew. All those people outside, her mother, and all them people know her and everything. Her mother never knew. In 2012, 2013, I would say. 2013, same girl, still in touch with her. She said, hey, why don't you come down here to VA, where I live, come visit, visit and everything.
Yeah.
Her mother's like, hey, why don't you come down here, Ace? And everything. Yeah. She said, hey, I'm like, sure, I'll come down. I'm doing a couple shows down there, maybe. She said, oh, yeah. But she said, this time, you don't have to jump out the window.
She knew.
Now she knows. So at that point, I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold up. What? She said, yeah. She said, she told me a couple years ago. She said, I was waiting for this time to tell you. I was waiting for you to come down here to tell you about it. Yep. Wow. So at this point, she knows, and it's all out there. And I lost a good pair of Durango boots.
Did you ever buy new Durangos?
No, I think the trauma was too much. I decided to stay away from Durango boots. It didn't work out for me the first time. So I haven't worn a pair of Durango boots since then. And that was Durango boots.
I have to say, that was a great story. For anyone listening, I just did a chef's kiss because that was a great story. I can't believe that they couldn't have just gently taken the shoe off your foot. They had to cut it.
Firemen are notorious for destroying property because they can. Have you ever heard stories? Okay. I've seen a situation where they could have went around, just put the holes around the car. They broke both windows and put it through the windows of the car. I was a concierge. They would break down doors that they could have just opened. Just break it down.
Do you hear is that the fireman now? Can you hear that on your end? They're like,
they heard. Yeah, they heard.
They're like, are those Durangos? We got some Durangos we can cut up.
They got a little pair of Durango boots on the dashboard, right over the mirror. Yeah.
That's wild. I didn't know that about them breaking things just for fun.
Yes, they do it. I think it's they do it out of humor. I think personally, how many times do you get a chance to, with impunity, break things and no one says anything?
Right. I guess that's true.
So I think they pretty much do that. I've heard so many stories. I've seen it. I've seen them break into things that they didn't have anything. You can't. They can't get in any trouble for it. They're gonna say they needed to.
Right. Now I want to ask you: isn't it funny how time really can heal almost all wounds. Because in that moment, as a 19-year-old man, you were scared of this woman, you know, afraid of the mother, jumping out of windows. Even jumping out of the window seemed like a better solution than getting your ass beat by her mother.
Let me tell you something. I am nice with these hands.
Yeah.
But she is in a different weight class, and she was not to be played with.
Right.
First of all, I don't go around fighting people's mothers. I just want to make that clear to everybody. I don't go around fighting people's mothers.
I hope that was clear. I understood that it was clear, but yes.
But I don't want to take any blows from her. She was known in that area, you know, for knocking people out. Like, she was no joke.
Right.
No joke.
That's crazy. Now you obviously went down to visit them. You had a good visit with them when you went down to VA.
Oh no, I haven't been there.
Oh, you didn't go?
No. I couldn't. I was like, wait a minute, it's too much. It's too much. I haven't seen them yet. No. We still speak. We still Facebook and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I haven't been down there yet. No.
When this is all over, Ace, you have to go down there.
Maybe I should.
You've got to. They want you to visit. They really do. You can tell.
She still calls me her son-in-law and everything. And you know, I love her. I love them. I love them. It's just that no.
You were scared. Now
I'm generally.
Now, what's on the agenda? What's next for Ace in a post-pandemic or as we ease out of the pandemic world? I know you're also a barber. I want to talk a little bit about that. But what's next for you in the barber world, the comedy world? What's up?
Well, in the comedy world, actually, I'm meshing them together.
Beautiful.
I did them separate for a while. Now I'm doing them. I'm starting different skits and things that involve the two.
Okay.
You know, I could give it out a little bit of it because I tell you, people take stuff so fast in this industry.
Yeah.
You know,
give what you want to give.
Yes, I'm going to do some things. I've moved into some other skits. I have a actually skit series with my brother Javon M. Johnson.
Okay.
And we did a skit, a skit series called The Bag. The premise, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The premise I'll give you the premise of The Bag. The premise of The Bag is this: two drug dealers over the top, you know, just stupid. No one goes to these things. Like on TV, you see them with the shades, you see them with the jury, no one goes to a deal like that.
Right.
So now imagine when they exchange bags. Okay, they always give them a big bag of money or the bag of whatever the product is.
Right.
But what happens if they really have attachment to that bag?
Oh, you mean the physical bag that is holding the money or drugs? Okay, that's amazing.
So they make the exchange, and he really likes the bag. You know, he wants. Wait a minute, I told you to give him the money. I told you to take the bag back. I didn't take the bag. You know, where's the bag? It's the bag. You know, and he has emotional attachment. So that's the premise of the whole series. You know, at this point, he has emotional attachment to the bag. We are two drug dealers so now we're trying to retrace our steps to get back the bag from these dealers that just don't want to give us this bag, and they don't see the significance of it. So it becomes a calamity.
That's really, really funny.
Nobody
gets to see the silly side of drug dealers. I want to see the silly side of drug dealers.
And I tell you, from experience, thank you, though. There's a lot of silly sides that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No one walks around with a shirt that says drug dealer. That's not what we do. That's not what they do. That's not. It just doesn't happen. The over the top things you see in movies, they're gonna make a deal. You got 20 guys on the side, 20 guys on that side. No, that's a melee. That's a party. Like that's not what people do.
Yeah.
So that's part of the premise of the whole skit. Also, I'm doing ghetto therapists. It's already filmed, so you can't take it because it's already filmed and everything from that point on.
It's trademarked, people. So watch those paws.
It's done. You don't want these paws.
They'll get mine too if anybody comes for the ghetto therapist. Exactly. Now there's two of us.
My name is Rocky. So
my name is Rocky. My shirt is Rocky. So they don't want it.
Great shirt.
They don't want it.
They don't want it. They don't want these problems. So they don't want these problems. I love to see you run up steps. By the way, that's the best part of it. So from there, we're just doing more entertainment things. This summer we'll be at La Brea Gardens. I have somewhat of a residency there. We'll do the keep the same energy comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be we'll do that throughout the summer. We'll do it. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going weekly or monthly.
Okay.
Which will be like 2-3 shows, but I may go further. I'll also be at the Brooklyn House of Comedy, formerly the Inkwell.
Okay.
I'll be there. There's more shows to come. We're also doing another polo event. I am the polo comedian.
Perfect.
And myself and my brother Javon M. Johnson, we have the polo comedy shows, Polo and Punchlines.
So what's a polo event?
Okay, polo is a brand and culture.
I know Polo, the brand. I didn't know that yes. So Polo, for those who don't know, is a clothing brand. But what is a polo events?
Okay, polo events. We invite other polo enthusiasts to the. I couldn't get that out. You
did fine.
We have other polo enthusiasts. People who are just into the culture, because the brand has become somewhat of a culture where we all wear it. We have polo. I have polo thermals. I have polo everything. So we tend to wear the stuff. We come out there and we joke. It's a regular comedy show, but a lot of us wear it. We wear it. We may trade. Amongst each other. If there's any vendors. Yes, if there's any vendors and things of that nature, you might buy another piece there. We used to do a comedy event called Low and Laughs at 95 South in Brooklyn. And we did about 4 there very successfully. Mm-hmm. And because of the pandemic, we had to stop that for a while, but we'll be starting that back up.
Perfect. So Ace, we're, New Yorkers. I want to come see you this summer when things feel safe again. I want to bring the crew so everybody can come see your comedy. I want you to share shows with me. I will share them on the page. Where can everybody find you online?
Okay, you can find me right now on social media. You can find me under Ace_Zanders. That's my personal comedy page.
Perfect.
So everything under the sun. Everything with me. My barber page at this time is Ace Zanders Starber. Yes. You can find me there and on anything else. As far as Twitter and Twitter and things. I don't really understand Twitter the same way. I just don't get it.
It's harder to keep up with. I will say that it's not as it's harder to keep up with. It feels like a daily thing. It feels like everything changes with Twitter. Some people got it down pat. Some people are like me and you, where we have a Twitter and we could be more active with it. But one day we're gonna have interns, Ace, that will take care of all that for us.
That will be great. That will be great. You can iron my polo stuff, or he can iron.
Yes, absolutely. We'll go from there. Yes. Well, Ace. Everybody follow Ace on Ace_Zanders on Instagram. Follow his comedy with a Z. Zanders with a Z. Follow his comedy. Like his stuff. Support him this summer if you're in the New York area or if he comes to your area to do a comedy show. And Ace, thank you so much for sharing that story. That was truly a wild night.
Yes, that was of many. That was cool. That was. The nights get wilder,
Well,
maybe another time.
I would love to have you back on to tell an even more wild story, but I gotta say, I'm very satisfied with that one. So, Ace, thank you so much for doing the show. Stay safe.
Thank you so much.
Stay funny. Yes, ma'am. And we'll
thank
talk
you so
soon.
much, Rocky.
Yes, absolutely, Ace. Thank you.